Darth Sidious is wearing his best Blender cosplay, and I'm gonna be honest, I was pretty much ready to throw in the towel on tier 2. I tried health stacking Daka, tenacity Daka, defense Daka. There were varying signs of progress, but nothing came close to actually clearing phase 4. A player named Quiet Storm posted on Discord that he had a successful run, and it was a bit hard not to eye roll at first after checking his relics. Still, the sequence that needed to happen to win was apparent. It was really just a question of whether it was possible to achieve with a weaker team. And, well, yeah, it is. I didn't add anything to this team for the event, so I can't personally speak to if lower relics are possible, but this is what I beat it with. Mother Towson lead data is absolutely critical here. There's definitely some RNG involved, so let's go over what we're looking for and how to play it. Wave 1 and 2 are all pretty straightforward. You just have Mother Towson throw out her plague and let them kill themselves on their turbo speed. Have Daka use her revive as necessary, but otherwise you can practically just hit auto. Wave 3 is where things get tricky. We need to exit this wave with Talia ideally near 80% turn meter, although it's ideal to stack as many people near that threshold as possible. We want our turn meter to be slower than Sidious, but fast enough that we're immediately ready to go after Daka revives everyone. Also, we need Daka to end phase 3 at full health. We also want to hold as many cooldowns as possible, and in my experience, it's best to avoid specials so that the plague doesn't kill them too quickly. If plague spreads too rapidly, it can take the control out of your hands on when you enter wave 4, since the AI will start killing itself off. This wave isn't too threatening for Daka, so really just stick to using basics where possible. Plague will inevitably start rolling out as Daka has to revive people, so we're going to have to try to plan ahead. Try to kill Plague off before it spreads if you can. Once you've lined things up, we're heading into wave 4. Hey guys, this is a bit sloppier than I'd like, but in the original guide I noticed that in my winning run, Sidious used basic over and over a bunch, and I noticed a lot of people who were saying that the strategy was not legit because of this fact. The overall point that matters here is that Talia needs to go before Sidious's second AoE. I did a horrible job in my winning run of preloading her, but Sidious also delayed his AoE, so the end result to win was still the same. Unfortunately, I can't replay the event this time around, so Quiet Storm has graciously agreed to let me use his footage as an example of this working in normal conditions. The overall structure between our fights is still the exact same. Daka needs to survive the AoE by not getting crit, revive everybody successfully, then have each character use a specific special, regardless of their order. Talia should cleanse whenever she can, have Towson use Plague to start putting pressure on Sidious, and Asajj needs to use the event ability so that Sidious can't land healing immunity on Daka again with his basic. As long as you achieve these conditions, Sidious will go down to Plague. I went into wave 5 with a pretty unfavorable board state, but I didn't end up finding this too difficult. If Daka gets heal immunity from Death Trooper, that could certainly be a concern that threatens a restart if you can't cleanse it off with Talia in time. Talia being easy for them to kill was advantageous in getting some extra turn meter at the start, and some stacks for Daka and Ventress with Mother Towson lead. In general, I just spread out Plague and focused on keeping Death Trooper stun locked until I killed him, so that he couldn't execute somebody and stop them from reviving. Wave 6, 7, 8 are mostly the same story. Plague just rips through the AI mercilessly in these events since they take so many extra turns. Revive people where necessary, and try to keep people with healing immunity like Kylo Ren under control. Wave 8 ultimately surprised me. Nihilus doesn't actually prevent revives with his Annihilate, so you can just use the assist calls from Mother Towson lead or revive them with Daka. Nihilus isn't resistant to health damage, so you can just plague him to death. Honestly, it was kind of anticlimactic, but Wave 4 is such an RNG check, I think it's a huge relief. For mods, Daka needs a 6 dot crit avoidance arrow with a heavy blend of health and defense. I don't think speed matters too much for her here. She gets 100% turn meter when Sidious wipes your team anyway. The win condition is just that she has to live. For Mother Talzin, I went with 222% crit damage and a heavy emphasis on crit chance secondaries. I chose this route because I wanted my Plague hit on Sidious to have a maximum possible damage window to stop him from healing himself back to full. On Asajj, I took a Health Circle, crit damage triangle, and an offense arrow and cross. I don't think this offense arrow matters a ton, it's just what I had on her already. Speed would be fine. I didn't have much of a strategy for Talia's modding, so I just gave her speed with some extra potency focus to make sure she could land Plague where necessary. High speed secondaries made sense to me to help try to line her up more successfully at the end of Phase 3. Honestly, I didn't even remod Zombie for the event, but I think it might be better if you keep him easy to kill. The AI loves killing things that are easy to kill, and he's never going to take a turn anyway due to how badly he gets steamrolled. So it's better to try to exploit the AI's tendencies and keep them distracted. The good news is that this event doesn't actually take that long to reach Sidious, and you can use auto through the first wave and a half pretty easily. Pray that RNGesus gives you a hand, and your Daka will stand triumphant. I hope this helped. If you want some more interesting content, I've got a spicy new boss counter, the General Skywalker, that you might want to check out. And the series on my mod farming method that tripled my mod collection in a year is making pretty good progress as well. Thanks for watching.